Hi guys, this is the part 3 of the Asteroids game tutorial. We're going to add 3 more things today. One is sound, the other 2 are the results from the previous poll, which were animated UI and player lives, and also respawn. So that's what we're doing today. If you haven't completed previous tutorials, then you probably should to be able to follow this tutorial. Alternatively, you can just get the source code from the GitHub repository. But that's what we have so far. We can move, we can shoot, and that's about it. So the first thing we're going to add is going to be explosion sound effect. The assets are stored under assets sounds, and you just need to put the WAV file under sounds. The MP3 files go under music, and therefore typically looping background music. After we've done that, you can play by just calling play explosion.wav. This is one of the FXGL static methods. There's too much stuff here. Because of that, we can easily use play just as it is. So I'm just going to rebuild asset sounds just in case, so the ID picks up the file. But that should be alright now. And also just in case, I'm going to reduce the sound reduce the volume to 10%. But it shouldn't be loud. If you can hear a lag in the audio, then that's my machine rather than something on your side. The audio card I'm using I don't think is compatible with JavaFX. Either that or the driver is not, has a bug in it or something. Anyway, so that's how you play audio sound effects and music. For music, you just do loop BGM, which is going to play an MP3 file located under music. Right, next thing is score. No, it's lives. We've done score already. Lives. Let's do 3. And I'm assuming when we get hit, which is player asteroid collision. Right, let me just check that everything is set up for our collision. The player needs to be collidable. The asteroid is collidable. Has a bounding box, it has a type. The player also has a bounding box, and we need to add the type. So I'll just copy this. And collision between player and asteroid. The player, well, the asteroid gets destroyed. I'm going to extract this into a function. Let's do it now, actually. Is it Control-Alt-M? Yeah, it seems to be. Kill asteroid. Yeah, and then I can get rid of that. There we go, much nicer. Kill asteroid, get rid of the bullet as well. Kill asteroid, but this time we're decreasing the lives by 1, which is basically increment by -1. And we're going to respawn the player, or actually just move the player. What's the point in respawning where we can just move? Okay, let's have a look. Oh, we'll probably need to respawn when the lives go down to 0, but that kind of works. That's fine. I'm not going to restart the game. Yeah, make of that what you will. Here's the ability to do repositioning. Here's how you can do decreasing lives, and you can add some game mechanic if you want to. As for animated UI, well, first of all, let's make sure we have something on the screen. Lives. So we can keep track of score and lives. Yeah, that's the score, that's lives. What we can do is animate, well, we can create a score text object, which is going to animate like in Mario and many other games where you just score something. It creates a text with that value and then kind of translates it to the top. We'll see. Score text, new score text. We don't need this bit or that. That's our entity, and now we're going to animate it. Oh, before we do that, we need a value, right? Because it's not going to be plus 100 all the time. Imagine if you're going to add different things that will give you different actions that will give you different points. So the view is going to be get UI factory, new text, use that text string and font to 24, which means we need to pass this value or that value when we're spawning this thing, which is, I'm assuming, going to happen here somewhere. Spawn score text, new spawn data. We're going to spawn it where the asteroid is or was. And it's important to do this before you get rid of the asteroid, because after that you should not be accessing any of the asteroid data or any of the entity data. I'm going to put text plus 100. So let's see. It's not going to be very animated yet. It's a bit plain. It works, but it's a bit plain. We need something a bit more interesting. Let's call our animation builder and translate our entity from where it is, which is data get x, data get y, to we're not going to move it in the x-axis, but we are going to move it in the y-axis. Let's adjust a little bit. Build and apply. Duration, let's match the expire clean component, which will be called to get rid of the entity. And interpolator interpolators exponential. Yeah, this one works best for short things. Yeah, quite like that. And we can even combine it with a fade out animation, because expired clean component keeps track of how many seconds or how much time left before it gets destroyed. So we can easily animate opacity, which is going to animate the opacity based on how much time left before it is destroyed. So it basically creates a fade out animation, which looks better, I think. although it's subjective, I think it looks better. What else can we do? Okay, let's do something with this 900 thing. So the kind of the static score that you see on your UI. Text, get UI factory. Don't care about the initial text for now. 24 font size. Going to bind this to get integer property score as string, and the format is that's just your typical string.format format. Right, we're going to add this as a text at 50/50, maybe push it to the left, push that to the left too. And how are we going to animate it? I'm assuming when something changes. So get game state. So there are two ways you can listen for variable change. You can do it using this, or which is how you get the integer property, the JavaFX integer property, to which you can add a listener. So the typical JavaFX way. Alternatively, there's a slightly, I don't know, easier way, I guess. Add listener to score. It's not necessarily easier, but you don't get 3 of those things, just 2, which most of the time is what you want, because you don't need the observable value anyway. So with that, we know that something has changed at this when this bit of code is going to get called, which means we can animate again. Animation builder, we've done translate, we've done rotate kind of with our player. Let's do scale. We're going to scale the text from this value, which is the 100% value, to 1.2, which will make it bigger. We will also add repeat twice and auto reverse, which basically means go from this to that, which will be 1 cycle of the animation, and during the second cycle reverse the animation, which will get back to 100%, which is what we want. Make it reasonably, well, interpolator, I don't know which one to choose. Let's go with why not balance? Let's try this. So when score changes, it kind of works. Anyway, you can kind of play around with interpolators and then see which one works best. But for now, that's your general framework that you can extend. And you can do the same with the lives variable. Okay, I think we've covered quite a bit. So we've done sounds, which are super easy to do. You just call this. I commented it out because of my driver issue. We've done kind of respawn. We've added 1 more variable to keep track of lives. We've done 2 animations. One is for the static score, the other is for the one that spawns and gets destroyed whenever you kill an enemy. So you have a range of options when it comes to animations, which you can use. Feel free to experiment and see what you can come up with. I'll create a new poll for the next part of the video, and then we'll see what we can add then. Thanks for watching.